Ladies and gentlemen, the woman with all the answers, or if she doesn't have them, she'll ask her husband Lloyd. From the UBS Broadcast Center, Dr. Joanne.
There's all this pressure, you know? And sometimes it feels like it's right up on me, and I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head, and it's relentless. And I don't know if it's going to stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that I don't know if it's ever going to stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there...
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing...
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
No, see, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail
See,
out.
you're not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just... Sometimes it's like there's this achy... I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
Yeah, that sounds really hard.
It is. Thank you. Ow!
Oh, come on.
Ow.
If you would just...
Don't...
Try to see things my way.
What you just saw is a rather bizarre way of showing how men and women communicate in a marriage, or should we say how they don't communicate. Our own Dr. Joanne is back as we start year 8 of Jackson 24/7. She'll explain to us why it's not in the nail. Thank you so much for being with us.
I love it. That is the
It
best
is really good.
comic illustration of a very serious issue. Communication, men and women. Dr. John Gray, with the Mars-Venus books, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, started telling us way back how different we are and how differently we communicate and think.
Now, how does this video illustrate the mistakes couples make in trying to communicate?
Well, it's because we see things from our own perspective and don't see the other person's perspective. And God made us different for a reason. When two people get married, they become one. What does that mean psychologically? They complement each other. We're not polar opposites, we complement. And so men, problem solvers. They go out and they kill the elk for the tribe. Women, nurturers. Does that mean men can't nurture? No. Does it mean women can't get a pizza? No. But it's how do we look at things? And it's not about the nail to the woman. She needs him to say, oh, that was, remember? He said, oh, that must be very hard. And she said, thank you.
Now, if the man is more fact-oriented and the woman is more emotional, how do they meet in the middle?
By understanding each other's needs. That's why everyone needs to read and watch the videos. They're on YouTube. Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. How can you give the other person what they need? And that's what it's all about. He needed to finally see, oh, she needs me to acknowledge her feelings. She needs me to validate her feelings. And then she needs to see, oh, get the nail out of my head. It is about the nail. Women can be problem solvers. When she finally gets enough empathy, she will either go to the doctor or pull the nail out. But she needs the empathy first. Men need, get that nail out, now we'll talk about it. I don't have to think about the nail in your head anymore. And it's just that difference that complements each other. You want empathy, go to a woman. You want a problem solve, go to a man. Go to both of them and you'll get both of them done.
Now, if a couple has been married for 5 or more years, what are some of the warning signs in not being able to communicate?
It becomes real obvious, because she's telling him the same thing over and over and over, and you never listen. He kept hearing her, you never hear me, you never listen. He does, but he doesn't know how to react to you the way you need it. And he's thinking, what the heck is the matter with you? There's a nail in your head. And that's what goes on in marriages, where they're bickering. What's the difference between bickering and fighting? Fighting gets kind of nasty. Bickering can lead up to that, bicker, 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 we're not listening. We're not providing the needs of the other person. And so that sniping's going on a lot. And that's a real bad symptom that we need to fix things.
Now, what are some good, useful tools for married couples to be able to communicate better?
Oh, yes. Reflective thinking is one of the best. Reflecting what the other person is saying. I think what you're saying is, like he could say, you know, I think what you're saying is how you feel is more important than the nail itself. Ah, yes. Now they can communicate. She needs to say, I think what you're saying is get this silly nail out of my head and maybe we could talk and you could hug me and I'll feel better. Yes. I think what you're saying is, and repeat what they said. And I think what you mean is, and and he could, no, that's not what I mean at all. Then he could explain, or she could explain. So that reflective thinking, and by not placing blame, you know, instead of saying, you never listen, she could have said, I feel so disrespected when I think you're not listening to me. Oh, you know, he could be very enlightened and realize, no, I respect you tremendously. You know, we misinterpret each other because all we have is what we see, and what you see isn't always what you get.
Now, if there is a husband that looks at his wife tonight and sees a nail in her forehead, how should he react?
Exactly the way we've been talking about. Honey, did you know you have a nail in your head? Yes, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that must be all, you know. Maybe she didn't know she had a nail in her head. Take care of that first. But then what do we need to hear? Oh, and we all need that. But we also need to solve the problem and get the nail
Okay,
out
I'm
of
sorry,
your
we're
head.
out of time. But thank you
Always.
so much for being with us.
Is there a nail in my head?